Mm. So we are going to read step number 10, or chapter number 10 of Think and Grow Rich. The sixth sense is the door to the temple of wisdom. People become what they are because of their dominating thoughts and desires. The sixth sense is a function of the creative imagination and the faculty of the subconscious mind through which infinite intelligence communicates voluntarily without any efforts. Without any efforts from or demands by the individual. Although the sixth sense defies description and can be understood fully only by experiencing it through meditation and mind development, you can begin to understand it through the roles it plays. Through the aid of the sixth sense, you are warned of impending dangers. You are warned of impending dangers in time to avoid them and notified of opportunities is them. Impending dangers in time to avoid them and notified of opportunities in time to embrace them. The sixth sense probably is the medium of contact between the finite mind of individuals and infinite intelligence, and for this reason, it is a mixture of both the mental and the spiritual. It is believed to be the point at which the mind of an individual contacts the universal mind. There comes to your aid and to do your bidding with the development of the sixth sense a guardian angel who will open to you at all the doors of there comes to your aid and to do your bidding with the development of the sixth sense a guardian angel who will open to you at all the times the door of the temple of wisdom. You can profit by reading this book without understanding the principle. You can profit by reading this book without understanding the principle described in this chapter. Especially if your major purpose is that accumulating money or other material things. This chapter on the sixth sense was included because the book is designed to present a complete philosophy by the individuals may unerringly guide themselves in attaining whatever they ask of life. That starting point of all achievement is desire. The finishing point is the brand of knowledge that leads to understanding of self, understanding of others, understanding of law of nature, recognition and understanding of happiness. This sort of understanding comes in its fullness only through familiarity with and use of the principle of the sixth sense. Hence that principle had to be included as a part of the philosophy for the benefit of those who desire more than money. Step by step through the preceding chapters, you have been led to this, the last principle. If you have mastered each of the preceding principles, you are now prepared to accept without being skeptical the claims made there. If you have not mastered the other principles, you must do so before you may determine. If you have not mastered the other principle, you must do so before you may determine definitely whether or not the claims made in this chapter are fact or fiction. No believer in miracles. The author does not believe in miracles because he has enough knowledge of nature to understand that nature never deviates from her established laws. Some of her laws are so incomprehensible that they produce that what appears to be miracle. The sixth sense appears to be the tool that enables human beings to channel infinite intelligence to produce what are often referred to as miracles. Even that events that seem to defy the laws of nature only because we have no understanding of the method by which the sixth sense operates. This much the author does know. There is a power of or a first cause or an intelligence that permeates every atom of matter and embraces every unit of perceptible energy. Power or a first cause or an intelligence that permeates every atom of matter and embraces every unit of perceptible energy. This infinite intelligence converts acorns into oak trees, causes water to flow downhill in response to the law of gravity, and follows night with day and winter with summer, and each maintaining its proper place and relationship to the other. Infinite intelligence may, through the principles of this philosophy, be induced to aid in transmuting desires into concrete or material form. The author has this knowledge because he has experimented and has experienced it. with it and has experienced it. Infinite intelligence may, through the principles of this philosophy, be induced to aid in transmuting desires into concrete or material form. Has this knowledge because he has experimented it with it and has experienced it. Infinite intelligence may, through the principles of this philosophy, be induced to aid in transmuting desires into concrete or material form. My invisible counselors, while I was passing through the age of hero worship, I found myself trying to imitate those whom I most admired. Moreover, I discovered that the element of faith with which I endeavored to imitate my idols gave me great capacity to do so quite successfully. I had never entirely divested myself of this habit of hero worship. Although I have passed the age commonly given over to such, my experience has taught me that the next best thing to be truly great is to emulate the great by feeling and action as nearly as possible. Long before I had ever written a line for publication or endeavored to deliver a speech in public, I followed the habit of reshaping my own character by trying to imitate the nine people whose life and life works had been most impressive to me: Emerson, Paine, Edison, Darwin, Lincoln, Burbank, Napoleon, Ford, and Carnage. Every night over a long period of years, I held an imaginary council meeting with this group, whom I called my invisible counselors. The procedure was this: just before going to the sleep at night, I would shut my eyes and see in my imagination this group of men seated with me around my council table. Here I had not only an opportunity to sit among those whom I considered to be great, but I actually dominated the group by serving as the chairman. I had a very definite purpose in indulging my imagination through these nightly meetings. My purpose was to rebuild my own character so it would represent a composite of the characters of my imaginary counselors. Realizing as I did early in my life that I had to overcome the handicap of birth in an environment of ignorance and superstition, I deliberately assigned myself the task of voluntary rebirth through the method I here described. Building character through my invisible counselors. Building character through my invisible counselors. Being an earnest student of psychology, I knew of course that all people have become what they are because of their dominating thoughts and desires. I knew that every deeply seated desire has the effect of causing one to seek outward expression through which that desire may be transmuted into reality. I knew that self suggestion is a powerful factor in building character, that it is, in fact, the sole principle through which character is built. People become what they are because of their dominating thoughts and desires. With this knowledge of the principles principles of mind operation, I was fairly well armed with the equipment needed to rebuild my character. In these imaginary council meetings, I called on my cabinet members for the knowledge I wished each to contribute, addressing myself to each member in audible words as follows: Mr. Emerson, I desire to acquire from you the marvelous understanding of nature which distinguished your life. I ask that you make an impress upon my subconscious mind of whatever qualities you possessed and enabled you to understand and adapt yourself to the laws of nature. I ask that you assist me in reaching and drawing upon whatever sources of knowledge are available to this end. Mr. Burbank, I request.